So the biggest issue with Pokemon Go right now is a lack of communication from developers, but at the same time, I think there's also way too much aggression coming from the community, which is probably also preventing the developers from being completely transparent, that it's kind of going both ways at this point. But the big problem is that people were just seeing all these changes happen to Pokemon Go, and we weren't hearing anything from Niantic, but we didn't really give them much time. That Reddit blew up, the community blew up within 12 hours of all of these new changes to Pokemon Go, and finally we get a response that everyone just complaining, oh, Niantic doesn't care about us, they don't care about the game, they're just gonna let this game die because they hate us, so they're refusing to communicate. And that's because more people have been playing this game than expected, that it's impossible to handle the requests of 40 million people that have played this game. Like, when you're getting overwhelmed like this, the only thing developers can do right now is just work on fixing problems. That if they're addressing all of the people that are having issues with the game, or that feel that the decisions the developers have chosen to make are bad, then that's losing from development time, and Niantic just can't afford that. Also, I don't get why people are getting like so upset and saying that there's nothing being done. One of the developers, or one of like the community managers of Ingress, he's focused on Ingress, but we're currently hiring a community manager for Pokemon Go. They're making attempts, and they certainly need a community manager. They probably just didn't expect things to get this bad. They thought that maybe they can control some of the minor problems, maybe people would be more tolerating of these bugs. I mean, not giving the developers 24 hours to speak out about concerns and trying to get them shut down almost immediately over it. Like, no one is giving Niantic a chance right now because they're so spoiled on this game, and they're doing work. They're hiring for a community manager. They're at least responding to us. They're not completely shutting everyone else out. They have their heads down working on this insane game because they want to make you guys happy, and no one respects that, which is complete crap, honestly. So right now, we finally get a response, and right here, as many of you know, we recently made some changes to Pokemon Go. We have removed the 3-step display in order to improve upon the underlying design. The original feature, although enjoyed by many, was also confusing and did not meet to our product goals. We will keep you posted as we strive to improve this feature. I mean, this doesn't even give a reason, like a direct reason as to why, but this could be assumed. If they remove a feature, it's for a reason. It's not like they're trying to destroy their own game, or that they hate you as the player, so they're getting rid of something useful. And the big blow to this was, at the same time, they removed apps like Pokevision that were pretty much replacing the Pokemon Go detection, but you can't fault them for removing Pokevision either, because Pokevision 100% absolutely against the terms of service. That is not allowed to exist, because using the API in unintended ways gets you shut down. That's literally how any kind of game, any kind of terms of service agreement works. So they didn't do anything wrong, but people are getting mad at them for following their own TOS. And I think that kind of goes to like all the cheating we're seeing in multiple communities. Like the Overwatch community just blew up because a lot of like aimbotters and people got banned. So their response was, instead of, hey, we cheated the game, maybe we should take our punishment. No, there was like a mass DDoS attack on the Blizzard servers to try to get Overwatch shut down, or at least restricted for a while. And same with Pokemon, like in the official Pokemon handheld games and stuff like that. It's pretty insane as well that you're not allowed to use cheated Pokemon, but people will still hack, cheat, gen, and whatever, and feel justified in their actions even though there's no justification. The game developers, they hand you the license, and if you decide to not use it as intended, they will take it away. You have no control over that, and if you think it's unfair, cool, don't play the game. Other people are trying to play the game, and that's who the developers are going to care about. If you're complaining, why'd you shut down Pokevision, developers don't care about that because it's against what they intended for the game. So it's not going to get anything done. We have limited access by third-party services that were interfering with our ability to maintain quality of service for our users and bring Pokemon Go to users around the world. That's because all these third-party servers, they're using the API, and it's putting a strain on the server. That because it was stressing the server so much, that's where most of the issues were coming from, because they were breaking the terms of service. And same with the 3-step display, that, it wasn't working properly, so it was best to just remove it instead of have it drain on the servers and still be something that people complain about. And also, people are like assuming that Pokemon Go isn't reading their emails or isn't responding to any support or just ignoring people entirely. No, that's not your job as a developer. We have read your posts and emails, and we hear the frustration from folks in places that we haven't launched yet, and those of you who miss these features. We want you to know that we have been working crazy hours to keep the game running as we continue to launch globally. I think that that's like the most insane thing. Like, these developers are getting shit on by potentially up to millions of people, and they're able to hold it together. Like, it's amazing. Like, honestly, I'm impressed that they haven't just given up, just completely just say, all right, we're just leaving the game like this. We'll take your money and run. Like, it might piss off Nintendo. It's probably, like, not allowed in their contract somewhere. But the fact that they can stay adamant to making this game what you guys want, as the whole community has been trying to shut them down, literally shutting them down, it's crazy. So if you haven't heard us tweeting much, it's because we've had our heads down working on the game. And that's why you need to have faith in the developers. They have their heads down working. Again, they cannot respond to your guys' complaints in a timely manner, because if they're doing that, then that means they're not fixing the game. They're responding to all the people crying about the game. So understand that every decision they make is intended and hopefully for the best. Now, there's this one post right here, and this one really blows my mind. So this post says, "This is an open letter from me and hopefully echoes the voice of many other fans of Pokemon Go." After reading this, because it's an essay, it is paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of someone thinking they know what an open letter is. Like, it's pretty much just like, oh man, it's pretty much saying what everyone else has said in response to what everyone has wanted in response. Everyone has wanted Niantic to say something about it, and this guy's response is to say what caused this response. It doesn't make any sense. Like, this ending paragraph reeks of someone that's just spoiled, that is having no respect for developers, even though it seems like they're trying to look out. Like, here's one of my pet peeves, is when someone tries to look out for someone by, just showing all of their flaws, like, no, I care. I'm telling you that you're doing everything wrong and you suck only because I care. Like, I really hope your game will continue to grow and that you will overcome this hurdle. I hope the community will forgive you over your recent decisions on many issues. But for any of that to happen, you have to talk to us. You have to apologize for things you think you should apologize for and stand up for what you want to stand up for. No, they need to just work on the game and get it to where everyone wants the game. That this long essay isn't going to change the developers' minds. That they have what they want intended for the game, they're going to go for it, and really all this is just getting in the way. And then there was another post right here that really gets to me. If third-party services were such an issue, perhaps you could choose one and partner with them to provide a reasonable tracking solution while we wait for you to fix the in-game features. This game is really pointless in my area without Pokevision. And 5,000 thumbs up, because it really just shows that the Pokemon Go community is really spoiled. They want handout things. No, they won't partner with these guys because this is not what they want for their game. They do not want players using anything like Pokevision. They want the service to be as they create it. So if they wanted to make it like Pokevision, they would have made it like Pokevision from the start. But because of the unsuspected issues from tons of players, their tracking isn't working right now. If they implemented a Pokevision style tracking, they would still have the same issues, or they would still have to work on it and get it functional. So partying up with them doesn't solve the problem immediately, and it's not even what they want, because we hear a lot of talks right here. So John Hank, Niantic CEO, he's been talking about Pokemon Go, and actually at San Diego Comic-Con, he pretty much hinted at apps like Pokevision and all these getting shut down. So yeah, I don't really like that. Not a fan. We have priorities right now, but they may find in the future that those things may not work. People are only hurting themselves because it takes the fun out of the game. People are hacking around trying to take data of our system, and that's against our terms of service. So no, they're not going, just because like 5,000 people think that Pokevision needs to work and that thinks that all these things are supposed to be working the way they want it to, the developers are strictly against it. That the reason the game has been made and updated and changed the way that it has been is because this is what the developers want the game to be. If you want Pokemon Go to be something else, don't play it. And I don't think with all these millions of users, the developers will care if people that are disrespecting their game, breaking terms of service, not like crying about the game and not wanting what is intended of the game, like they don't care. Here's the thing that I've had a realization about, with all the craziness going on, all the glitches and all the bugs and the issues, when you look at the target audience, all the kids playing this game, all the more casual Pokemon fans playing this game, they probably don't care. Even if all the super hardcore people, even if everyone that's pissed off at the game right now leaves, still has millions of users. So those opinions don't really matter, and it looks like the game developers are staying adamant. They're not going to flinch at all these people trying to turn the game into something they don't want the game to become. And I am absolutely on board on that. They can stand against hackers, if they can stand against terms of service abuse, if they can hold up to all of this and then still update the game. That just shows that Niantic is deserving of being respected, not trying to be shut down like this Reddit post right here. Like, this got me. this got me. It's also not in frame, so let me work on that. But this was one I did a video about, and this is one of the most disrespectful things, and it's also just straight up incorrect. Niantic has not broken any Google's terms of service. This guy got 5,000 upvotes trying to just like say, yep, their refusal to breach, yeah, Niantic's refusal to accept support emails is a breach of terms and conditions. Here's how to report them. So the guy says it's our responsibility to force the developers to change. That this is just mob mentality. This is people trying to hijack a game and bully developers around to get the game they want and not the game that the developers wanted to make. This is thousands of people trying to get together, or at least, like, you know, people saying, hey, if I upvote this, more people are going to see it, and we need to get Niantic reported. We need to get them shut down. We need them fined. We need them to listen to us. And this is, like, some of the most BS bullying I have ever seen. And this is absolutely wrong, that Niantic, like, the thing is, you email them through the app, and it says, go to the support. So if you submit a support ticket, it tells you to go to their support website to be handled in a better way. That's not a breach of the terms and conditions. This guy is just being ignorant right now and trying to bully out developers. And that's not even, like, the worst part. It's like, does anyone read the terms of service? Like, does anyone know how any terms and conditions work? That it's all about rights. And right here, we have rights in app. So it's not even that deep in. Subject your compliance with these terms. Niantic grants you a limited non-exclusive license, non-transferable, non-sub license to download and install a copy of the app. So pretty much what this means is, like, just because it's a free game doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want to it. That by playing this game, you have to agree to these terms or they take away your free game. It's no different than if you buy something. Like, this is a license. It's like when you buy Photoshop, buy any Windows 10, Windows 8, any form of anything, you pay money for it. And then you get a license. Like, that's kind of how you feel. You get your license key, you get your code or whatever. It's no different on something free. People might not understand this. That Niantic is saying, follow our rules, and you're allowed to use our game. This is our item. We can take this back from you if you don't follow our rules. So, I mean, that's the thing. If you don't agree to these rules, you're getting your game taken away, you're getting it shut down. That means no hacking, that means no cheating, that means no use of the API in unintended ways, like Pokevision and all these other things. So you can't complain, because by playing the game, you are agreeing to this, and if you don't like it, don't play the game, and if you really like the game, well, then you have to follow the rules. And again, there's millions of people, so they don't have any inclination to change their game, and they'd probably be happy if a lot of these people left. Honestly, less load on the servers, less people complaining, more time to, like, actually get the game where they want it. You know, I don't understand, like, the privilege that's going on right now with Pokemon Go. That went from one of the greatest things that ever happened to Pokemon, with one of the best communities ever, to now a super toxic community that's trying to destroy their own game that can't handle that the developers want something else. You know, I think we can also see this change with the Pokeball change that just happened. That seems like Pokemon are fleeing a lot more and they're harder to catch. Well, you can't really complain about that because they did it for a reason. Niantic didn't make this change because they hate you and they hate the way that people are responding, so they just want to destroy their own game. No, it means that how many Pokemon that the average person is catching is too high. That this is like a patch notes. And I know we're not used to this from Nintendo because, like, Super Smash Bros., the patch notes don't happen. Super Smash Bros. 4, like, there's no official patch notes that people have to go and, like, study the game. They have to try out all the characters. They have to see if anything has changed through something like that. And it's no different right here, that we don't get a patch notes, but that doesn't mean that Niantic doesn't care. That doesn't mean that Niantic is trying to destroy us. That doesn't mean they're refusing to communicate. That means they just prefer to not have patch notes, but it's no different than, like, your favorite hero or champion getting nerfed or buffed in Overwatch or League of Legends. That this is a nerf to Pokemon gameplay because the Pokemon catching was overtuned. It was too strong for what they wanted, and that's why they're nerfing it. Because the average person's getting too many extra items, the average person is catching Pokemon too easily, and maybe they want to slow down the experience rates because people are already grinding far ahead. Pokemon Go isn't meant to be beaten within a month. It isn't meant to be crushed in a couple days. But there are some people that are super tryharding at the game, and the intention is to kind of slow that down. So every decision is made for a reason, and it's not them refusing to communicate. It's not your privilege that you deserve more out of the game. This is the game they want. You have to respect that, and if not, nothing lost if you decide to leave because it's not what you wanted. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.